Today we're going to be doing more of our subtraction word problems. Yesterday's video we were using manipulatives to solve the problems, and today we're going to be using drawings. If you can get your math workbook out, I want you to find Unit 9, Lesson 11. It has something like this at the top, and because my workbook doesn't have the same page numbers as you, so I don't want to give you the wrong page numbers. So if you find that page, and when we're doing this, I'm going to be going over this stuff on this front page. You're going to have a chance to do 4 pages on your own, or maybe the first page with a parent, and then you can do it on your own and they can check it. And then there's a challenge. There's a 5th page that's a challenge if you want to try to do that. But right now I'm going to demonstrate how to do these sort of problems, and the pages or the problems I'm using are not in your workbook. These are teacher ones, okay? So, but this is on the first part I'm doing is on this front page, okay? So first of all, and I want you to say this with me, our objective. Okay, our objective today, I will solve subtraction word problems. Okay, and tell your family what objective is. Okay. And then the first thing that we do to prepare for this is to go over our vocabulary, which, remember, vocabulary is important words we need to know. And the words in these sorts of problems are subtraction words. And as I mentioned yesterday, these are kind of those magic words that when you see them in a word problem, you think, oh, this is a subtraction problem. So they would be very different than the words we found in the addition word problems that we were doing. You know, like I've said before, I like to kind of, when I find them, I like to go ding, ding, ding and circle them, okay? So some of the words you might hear in a subtraction word problem are minus, take away, and you can repeat after me, separate, left, difference, and compare. Those are some that you might find. And then, you know, when we always do our problems, we go over the steps because it's important to know the steps of how to solve these sorts of problems. Okay, all right, number 1, read the problem, right? You need to read the problem or have someone help you read it if you cannot read it yourself. Number 2, circle the key numbers. Circle. Or if you want to use a crayon, you can highlight it with like a yellow or orange. And when you come upon those, you could say ding, ding, ding before you circle them if that helps you. Then number three, circle the keywords. Keywords, once again, circle them, say ding, 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 or highlight them. And these are these kinds of words that we talked about. They're on that opening page for you too. Number 4, use objects or drawings to represent the problem. Now, yesterday we used objects. I'm not sure what you used. I'm sure you used some creative things. I was using pencils yesterday. But today we're going to be using drawings. And remember, I've talked to you about this before, but math drawings don't need to be beautiful, do they? They just need to help you solve the problem. At the same time, you don't want them to be so scribbly that you can't count what you've drawn. So you want to be careful. But like, for instance, if it talked about turtles, you wouldn't need to make a turtle with its head and eyes and legs and all that. But you could just do a circle for the turtle. But you would want to make a nice enough circle so you can count it, that it's clear that it's representing one of the turtles, okay? All right, and then number 5 is we write the equation. Okay, so now I'm going to do a couple of the problems for you. Like I said, they're not in your book, so you don't need to be following along and looking for them. But you can help me by saying ding, ding, ding if you hear something that I should circle or highlight. Okay, Mrs. Ivan has 4 oranges. I hope you said ding, ding, ding for 4. I'm going to circle it. That's an important number. He eats 3, ding, 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 of them. How many oranges are left? Ding, ding, ding. I'm going to circle it. Okay, so now this time I'm not going to use my pencils. I'm going to draw something. And like I said, I'm not going to draw anything too fancy. Oranges, I can just make circles. So how many did he have at first? I see up here that he had 4. So I'm going to do 4 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to write my 4 right here because I know that is my number, the big number. That's what he started out with. So that is going to go in the first blank. Okay, and then I said, see, he eats 3 of them. He had 3, so he must have been pretty hungry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to still use these same circles, but I'm going to put an X on the ones that got eaten. And so help me count. I need to count to 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So those are not there anymore. They're in his belly. So I'm going to put a 3 here. Right there. Kind of like Stella when she ate her treats in the other video. Okay, so 4 minus 3. All I have to do now is count the one that's doesn't have an X on it. And guess what? We have just one that doesn't have an X on it, so I'm going to put a 1 here. And I have solved that word problem. 4 minus 3 equals 1. Okay, very important that you put them in the right spots because just like when we were doing composing and decomposing and addition and that kind of thing, if you put it in the wrong spot, you're not going to get the right answer. Okay, so the first spot is for what you started with. The second spot is for what went away. And the third spot is how many's left. Okay. All right, let's do one more. And then you can try to do a page with your parents and then try the rest on your own. Maybe they can check it for you. Okay, so here we go. This one says, and you can help me with the ding, ding, ding and showing me with the circle. There are 5, ding, 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 ducks in a pond. Okay, so picture that in your head. There's 5 of them swimming around. Okay, 2 ducks swim away. I hope you said ding, ding, ding for 2. I'm going to circle that. So in picturing that in your head, now all of a sudden 2 of them go off somewhere else. How many ducks are left? I hope you said ding, ding, ding for the word left. I am going to circle that. Okay, so remember, do I need to do really fancy ducks? No, and one of the reasons for that, friends, is if you're taking a math test and you have a certain amount of time to do it, if you're doing really fancy drawings, you might not get through that whole test in time. So, you really don't need to make them fancy. If you're doing it for writing, though, I want them to be really detailed and fancy, right? Okay, so we got to think about it. So first of all, there were 5 ducks. I'm not going to even make them look like ducks. I think I might do ovals because that's kind of like a duck shape. So how many do I need to do? 5. I'm picturing them in my head. There's 5 there in the pond. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 there, okay? And remember, right down here, I'm going to put that right away so I don't get confused and put them in the wrong spot. I'm going to go ahead and put the 5 there because that's how many were there in the beginning. And that's what goes in the first spot. Okay, then we have 2 ducks swim away. So I'm picturing these little ducks, and 2 of them had something else to do, went off. So I am going to put X's on the ones that went away, okay? Ready? Help me. 1, 2. That's all I need to X off because that's all that left was 2. Okay, so I put 2 X's. That is going to be my second number right there. That's what I am taking away from 5 is 2. Remember, those x's mean they're gone. They're not there anymore. Okay? To get my answer, and by the way, the answer to a subtraction problem is called the difference. I'll say that again. The answer to a subtraction problem is called the difference. Okay? So the difference, or the answer, is 1, 2, 3. All I have to do is count the ones I did not X off. Okay, I don't want to draw more circles or ovals. I just want to count what is still there. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So 3 goes in my blank. Okay, so it's 5 minus 2 equal 3. So there are 3 ducks still in that pond. Okay, friends, I hope that was helpful, and remember that you can always log on to Swan and also watch their video of demonstrating these concepts. Okay, I'll talk to you later.